Well, hello there, and welcome back to another weekend market update for 6/22/2024. Before we get started, we also have an amazing announcement that we are 2 videos away from our 100th update episode. I mean, we've got 100 and something videos on there, but some of them are music videos. For our 100th episode, we're going to be bringing a special contest where several winners are going to be picked for Blood Moon and Cosmic Release the Essence Teas. We will also be selecting one grand prize winner for a 250 plot tier 3, whichever property opened up the most recent, well, one of them, and a Hisatu Abara skin. Now listen, if there's a better skin that drops before that, we'll gladly sub that prize out because we know the Hisatu was not super well responded to, so if there's a better one, we'd be glad to give you that instead. But for the moment, all of our codes are expired by then, except for this one. To enter these contests, all you have to do is to be a subscriber, like and comment on every video until then, and I'm going to tell you why. We will be selecting winners from each starting with this one. Whichever video has the most interaction, i.e. the comments, likes, and shares, it will be the one that we pick for the grand prize winner from. So it could be any video from now up until then. It's June 22nd, 2024, and we are seeing more downturns in the financial markets. And it's truly affecting the game's value since it's paired to the ETH coin. We're going to talk about these topics and more tonight, as well as announce this week's winner for the Cosmic Crusader skin. This is Earth2 in the know, and let's get into it. Obviously, if you're an Essence token holder who has been glued to the charts, you've not been having a very good time lately, unless you're accumulating. We're still seeing a lot of red in the market, as many users are dumping the token as they still wish to make an exit out of the project. We're going to talk about that and more. However, first we want to thank all of our regular viewers. Without you guys, I would be talking to myself, and I hear they put you in a funny jacket for that kind of behavior. Listen, downturns in the market, they're nothing new. They've actually been happening since they invented free trade. As a matter of fact, the markets are so crazy that there was a story by another outlet that reported one holder of a meme token is down $5.8 million, but is not selling. He truly believes in the rebound of the project, and that's what it's all about. You can check it out for yourself. I think it's called BEER, Beer Token. The crypto market is a wild and crazy place. All it takes is for one catalyst to encourage the market to go one way or another. Here's something that is important to remember when you're in this space. Even with massive swings in the market, many users are still in profit. And I'm talking like Bitcoin profit, big money profit. Like I just said, a perfect example of this is the king of them all. And I'm talking about Bitcoin. Even though it's down to 64 and some change, 87% of Bitcoin holders are actually still in profit. On-chain data shows 46.72 million addresses are currently in the money, while 5.68 million, or nearly 11%, are actually holding their coins at a loss. Only 2.67%, or 1.44 million addresses, are at the money having acquired Bitcoin at average prices that actually correspond to the current trading price of today. Now, our source on that information we found at crypto.news. You can check it out for yourself if you want to see the article. The same article reports that Bitcoin price is currently around 63,700, while ETH changes hands near 3,500. Referring to Bitcoin, they say that the benchmark cryptocurrency is down 8% in the past 30 days, and Ether has declined 6%, performances that have come amid a confluence of downside catalysts. Though there are a few different reasons, including minor capitulation and a potential dump by the German government, the price will probably have a hard time breaking the lines of resistance in the short term. Why am I telling you all of this, and why is this important and relevant to the Earth2 ecosystem? As we've discussed before, Essence is tied to Ethereum, so therefore the price action is affected accordingly. So let's go ahead and talk about the red that we're actually seeing in the market at the moment. We could easily get lost in the current momentum of the charts, but it is important to remember that the token is a newborn. It's still less than a month old. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Essence numbers, and then look at why we may be seeing this trending this way. In the past 24 hours, we've seen 203,000 in volume. There are 1.87 thousand holders. Liquidity is sitting right at around 470,000, so that's down quite a bit actually. And the token is 21 days old. There have been 118 transactions, with 72 of them being buys and 46 being sells. Essence is currently in the red with a 24-hour loss of 16% for a price of 0.9006 at the time of production. So why is it exactly that we're sliding down on the chart? Well, many users are actually being forced to sell their Essence to pull cash out from the project, while fiat is temporarily suspended while the regulations are being brought up to speed. On the other side of that, there are also people who are just making an exit from the project. We brought an example to the broadcast tonight to show you the trends that we're seeing taking place. As you can see in this example, this player is pulling out between 1 to 2,000 USD value each time, and he has sold over 44,000 Essence. Now, if we check this user's transactions, you can see that this user, well, they haven't been active in trading for years, up until they started importing and selling off their Essence tokens. This is a very common trend that we're seeing now, and another reason we're seeing so many sell-offs. Until we can quote-unquote grow up as a project and get the rest of those soft sellers out of the market, we're going to continue to see red days. However, as we've mentioned before, some people in the community, well, they welcome these low prices as they're in the market to buy. Shane has been quoted saying something along the lines of, "Let the sellers give the power to those who believe in the metaverse." He was talking about people like us, and probably most of the people who subscribe to the channel. Alright, so how is all this craziness actually affecting the in-game market? Well, it really is like looking inside of a mirror, as most of the prices, well, they're reflective of the current price action. Jewels are actually at 7 cents USD. Meanwhile, the common droids are floored in the low 60s. This is also reflected in the resource droid market, as we're seeing lower floors in many of our favorites. The channel has been looking for an opportunity to enter the market, but have decided to hold out for better conditions. When it comes to the civilians, geologists have slipped back down to a floor of 6 cents, which we believe is undervalued, and we're going to talk about that shortly. Both the Rebels and the Space Force Ether Reckoners are sitting in the low 20s. However, the Egyptian God is back to around the 86 cent USD mark. As we mentioned before, we believe that civilians might possibly be undervalued, and let's talk about why. We do want to thank E2 Orbit for making the suggestion, so if you get a chance, make sure you go check out their content over on the YouTube channel. It has been well documented that most assets, they have a cap, and that includes civilians. Each civilian class, in fact, has a hard cap of 500,000. That said, there are already 410,999 Ether Reckoners at production, leaving only 89,001 to mint. Also at production, we're seeing 407,487 Raid Commanders, leaving only 92,513 left to be born. Sidroid techs obviously being the most birthed, with 417,708 currently in existence, leaving only 82,292 for circulation. Even with a newer asset, we're still over at half already born with the geologists, With 274,983, it only leaves 225,017 for mint. These numbers, if you look at demand after mass adoption, they absolutely reflect a lot of room for them to grow in value. As always, we're just looking at the facts when it comes to the numbers. This is not financial advice in any way. Well, the moment everyone has been waiting on has come. It's time to find a winner for the Cosmic Crusader skin giveaway. We would like to congratulate this week's winner, TigerLie9837, and let you know that you can claim your prize by messaging me directly via the official Earth2 Discord. It's actually time to pay the rent, so the channel would like to invite you to stay if you're new here, just by asking you to subscribe. Not only do we do weekly giveaways and have nearly daily updates, but we are also at war in the algorithm for results about Earth2 against clickbaiters who are still saying it's anything but credible just to get easy clicks. We would also just really appreciate the support. Also, we want to know if you in fact saw the red in the market and bought the dip with a smile. You can use your answer as your entry to the contest. We know that we sure did. Anyways, unfortunately, we must say goodbye for now, but as you know, never for very long. And we cannot wait to see you in the Earth 2 metaverse. Take care and be kind to each other.